because you always use that attitude when like defenders.
I think it's like
technical difficulties there, but the show must go on. People, Deluded, I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope you're doing well and safe. Appreciate you lot for tuning in. Let's get into it and see what news, views, gossip, talking points, all of them sort of things concerning Arsenal Football Club are currently saying. Now, feel no sort of way about offering your opinions. Please make sure you like the video, you comment, you subscribe, you turn on the notification bells. Now, again, kind of more of the same, but Arsenal close in on Timber as Kai Havertz kicks off 200 million spending spree. Allegedly, the Gunners hope to land the Ajax defender for 40 million as the Chelsea forward prepares to join this week. Arsenal are increasingly confident of signing Ajax defender Jeroen Timber as they prepare to kickstart a 200 million pound spending spree with the signing of Kai Havertz from Chelsea. Allegedly, Havertz underwent a medical in Spain over the weekend, and Arsenal were on Monday finalising a 65 million pound move that could be completed within the next 24 hours. Those of you who follow Jorginho on Instagram would have seen, you know, Jorginho taking a picture with Havertz and actually Kovacic and kind of playing up to it and things like that. Arsenal are also in advanced talks over a deal for Timber. They are preparing an improved offer for the 22-year-old after having a £30 million bid rejected last week. Ajax allegedly want 50 million for Timber, but Arsenal are confident a compromise closer to 40 million pounds can be reached. Sources in Holland claim Timber has verbally agreed a 5-year contract to join Arsenal. He's previously been linked with Man United. This summer he was linked with Bayern Munich. Allegedly, he's made it clear he wants to move to Arsenal and specifically play under Mikel Arteta. Ajax are respectful of his wishes and are prepared to let him leave after he stayed last summer because, you know, as I just alluded to, interest in Man United. From Man United. Allegedly, as well as Havertz and Timber, Arsenal want to sign West Ham captain Declan Rice. The Gunners had their latest offer for the midfielder worth a club record 90 million rejected last week. Manchester City have also expressed an interest in Rice, but the 24-year-old has indicated he wants to join Arsenal. Now, Sammy Mokbel, he's been the guy I think has been bang on the money with David Ornstein, where some of the rumours are concerned. And there you can see it there, kind of what I was saying about Jorginho kind of playing up to the media frenzy. Allegedly, Arsenal close to finalising personal terms with Timber, with a deal set to progress quickly once they've agreed terms with Ajax for the 50 million rated star. Now, clearly, we've done the groundwork. You know, you've seen him pictured in London. Apparently, you know, if he really wants to play under Mikel Arteta you know, that would mean for the last few weeks, days, months, Arteta has done what he needed to do. Tell him, along with Declan Rice and anybody else, how he would tie in individually and collectively to the squad, how he can improve the project, etc. Clearly, personal terms, whatever he's seeking, you've seen 90 million all the way up to around the 100-odd million, 90 grand towards the 120 odd K sort of region. So personal terms won't be an issue. Now we just need to agree a fee so that the man can have his medical and we can, you know, the wheels can start to flow. Once again, allegedly, we're close to agreeing personal terms. Again, he's a priority signing alongside Kai Havertz, who probably is going to be the first through the door, and Declan Rice. Arsenal have a deal in principle concluded with Timber over personal terms. The Mail Sport understands that Timber will earn a minimum of 90 grand per week at the Emirates, which with achievable add-ons that will push his wages closer to the 120k per week mark. Now, there's also rumours that allegedly Kai Havertz is taking a pay cut to join Arsenal, but Kai Havertz is going to be on over 200 grand. My man's coming in on 90 to 100 grand. Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, and a couple of others are in talks to sign new deals if they haven't already. Declan Rice, if he does sign, he's going to be on good wages. So we're probably going to have to start filtering some players out when we, you know, I suspect in an ideal world, if we got Timber, Havertz, and Declan Rice signed tomorrow, obviously, there's other things that need to be done in terms of incomings, but I do think Arsenal, or specifically Edu and the Richard Garlicks and all of these sort of guys, will start to focus on some outgoings, whether that is Eddie and Nketiah, who's been linked with a move away, Balogun, Tierney, Pepe, not Havard, sorry, he almost want him gone already. Tavares, Lokonga, etc., because the wage bill is kind of getting unsustainable potentially. And again, 99.9% of these rumors really amount to nothing. But you know, where Timber, Kai Havertz, and Rice are concerned, there clearly is some legs to it, specifically because we've placed bids for them. So let me know your thoughts on what we've seen already. Those terms will be formally agreed once Arsenal and Ajax reach an agreement over the 22-year-old's transfer fee. Ajax have already rejected a £30 million bid, people, from up from us, and apparently will return within the coming days. The Holland international is eager to join Arsenal, with the move expected to be wrapped up quickly once the two clubs strike an agreement. So once we have an agreement, medicals, Bob's your uncle. Havertz will complete his switch to the Emirates from Chelsea in the coming days. As we've said, we're also locked in talks with West Ham over a move for Declan Rice. As you've seen today, Gundogan has actually announced his move to Barcelona again. So I'd expect Declan Rice to Manchester City. Rumours, whether they happen or not, to hot up even more so. Apparently, our third offer for Declan Rice will be closer to 100 million, which the Hammers are looking for. And apparently, Rice is keen to join Arsenal despite interest from Manchester City. So as long as we're in the race and we can get something done, we may, based on paper talks, be able to defeat Manchester City to this. If we can't agree something with West Ham and City can, you already know what's going to happen in it. But once again, Arsenal are locked in talks with West Ham over a move for Declan Rice. The third offer will be closer to 100 million, which West Ham are looking for. Rice is keen to join Arsenal despite interest from Manchester City. Football transfers, I said, Rice still set to join Arsenal despite Manchester City interest, people. Declan Rice is still set to join Arsenal this summer despite increased movement from Manchester City. Football transfers understands. Arsenal have already agreed personal terms with Rice, who is pushing to complete a move to the Gunners. We have been in negotiations with West Ham. There's rumours of a third bid being prepared. Right now, we've had 2 bids rejected. A third bid is expected within the coming days, which once again will be close to the asking price, or the asking price that West Ham are looking for. With Arsenal still not closing the deal, there has been increased reports in recent days that Manchester City will hijack the transfer with a monster 3-figure offer of their own. However, Football Transfers has learned that Arsenal are still well in the driving seat and Rice is expected to complete a move to the Emirates. There has been rumours that, Manchester City want absolute clarity from Rice on his willingness to join before they progress with offers. Indeed, City have made it clear to Rice's camp they will only table an official bid if Rice makes it clear he wants to join City over Arsenal. Those assurances have not been given as of yet, with the belief that the England international only wants Arsenal. This was the reason Bayern Munich pulled out of the race to sign Rice, as they learned that the 24-year-old wanted Arsenal over the German champions. And once again, to follow Declan Rice in an ideal world, Timber and Havertz will be arriving at the club. In fact, those two will probably arrive before Declan. We've been linked with Monaco's Fofana, people. French international. Now, again, we need midfielders. We're going to get linked with plenty of midfielders. Think he's a very decent player, people. The former Strasbourg man, I believe. I'm sure I did a video on him before he's moved to Monaco. According to reports out of France, Arsenal and Newcastle have joined West Ham United, people, in the pursuit of the 24-year-old Monaco man. He is valued, allegedly, people, at 35 million quid. Apparently, West Ham want him potentially to replace Declan Rice. West Ham have been linked with him, Ward-Prowse, Paulinho of Fulham. They'll probably have to spend on a couple of players, people. However, there is now fresh interest in the former Strasbourg midfielder, who will be allowed to leave the Principalities club this summer should a reasonable offer arrive. According to the French publication, Arsenal and Newcastle are the latest clubs to register an interest. Despite the interest, no club is in a hurry to conclude a deal, and concrete moves to sign the player have not been initiated yet. He's also been linked with Inter Milan and Roma. So everybody's interested. Putting down bids and talking about getting a player, as you know, is a very different story. Arsenal have once again been linked with Xavi Simons, as his future is subject to speculation. He's available at a cut price to return to Paris Saint-Germain because they have a buyback clause, but allegedly he doesn't want to go there. As you know, he's got a new agent who's primarily based in England, so maybe that's where it's coming from. And he's had a great season over there in Holland. Arsenal chase cut price Xavi Simons as PSG lose ground. According to L'Equipe, they've reported Xavi Simons is against a return to PSG despite the Liga champions looking to activate a 6 million buyback clause in the deal that saw the 20-year-old move to PSV Eindhoven last summer, with Arsenal among the clubs looking to capitalise. Since leaving France, Simons' development badly started at PSG, despite the midfielder showing his potential in fleeting first-team outings in Paris has exploded. Although usually a number 8 by trade, a total of 19 league goals made Simons the Eredivisie's top scorer this season. He's also ranked second for goal creating actions, people, and he's also second in the league for progressive carries, which shows obviously his technical abilities, and he's obviously had a great bit of form, people. For 6 million odd quid, you know, for PSG, I'm sure they would be doing all they can to get him to return. For Arsenal, we'll probably have to pay a bit more than that, people. He's currently on holiday in DR, the Dominican Republic. Simons isn't scheduled to return to Eindhoven until mid-July, but another season there now seems unlikely too, despite his contract running until 2027. His new club, however, will need to offer a regular start with Arsenal in the running. Says Sports Daily. PSV, meanwhile, are offering to name Simons as their captain should he stay put. I remember when we used to do that in the early Emirates days. In terms of Lavia, allegedly, people, Liverpool have asked for the conditions of a Lavia deal. They're in the race. Arsenal are working on this deal for the last 2 weeks or 15 days, as Romano has said. No official bid from both clubs yet. Allegedly, some reports say the Premier League top 6 sides, they think he's overpriced, so we'll have to wait. Man United and Chelsea are apparently monitoring the situation, but are not in active talks. That's probably because you see Chelsea chasing Caicedo. And I've got small hope, people. I know the Caicedo thing is dead, but apparently Felix Johnson, if I skip ahead, has said, I understand Chelsea bid for Caicedo will be strong, serious offer. They will not, from their view, lowball Brighton. Chelsea want to be as close to certain Brighton. Want to be close. What? Chelsea want to be as close to certain Brighton accept the offer. Sorry, the way he's formulated this is crazy. Avoid a continuous bidding war and competition from teams. Chelsea are planning to bid this week, but lots of sales accumulated in Saudi sales took extra due diligence. Apparently, people, Chelsea at the moment are clear front runners, only team talking to Brighton, and Arsenal fully focused on Rice for now. Caicedo has said yes to Chelsea, and he's been linked with Man United once again. But of course, he can say yes to many clubs, so Chelsea want their offer to be serious. There's also some people saying that Chelsea are willing to make a competitive offer, but not offer the asking price that allegedly they want, really and truly. And he's also doubled down on that and said, and for those that seem to think I have an agenda against Wood Stanley, he so far fronted these negotiations. This is a very good tactic, and he was right to believe Arsenal's interest would diminish. Fair enough, really and truly. Apparently, Chelsea have actually tabled an offer for Ethan Onweri, as his future at the club is subject to speculation, people. So we'll have to see. So Caicedo's been linked with a bunch of teams. So yeah, let's jump back in once again. Allegedly, Arsenal have verbal agreements in place with Lavia, Declan Rice, and Timber. But until them offers are progressed, no one's at the club yet. Apparently, Arsenal are ready to sign Partey replacement. It's a huge deal. Who are they talking about there? Is this? Oh, sorry. This is Alan Houghton's comments, man. Sorry, people. They tried to do me. I don't care about his comments. Romano once again has said Arsenal have submitted their second official proposal to Ajax in order to get the Timber deal done this week. Talks advancing between clubs after 30 million opening bid rejected. Personal terms agreed last week on a 5-year deal. Arsenal are getting closer to the signing after the second bid was sent through today. I understand the value of the second proposal is close to 45 to 48 million euros. Contract ready and agreed until 2028. Timber has been clear he loves Arsenal's project and wants to join them. And again, there you have it there. Further confirmation. Sky Germany are saying he's close to joining Arsenal according to their information. There's a verbal agreement between Arsenal and Ajax on the transfer fee. And this says slightly cheaper at 40 to 45 million odd quid, people. According to Arsenal sources, the talks between Edu, Richard Garlick and Ajax's director of football, Mizintat, who's obviously worked with us at Arsenal before, are in particularly good harmony. Arsenal and Ajax are expected to eventually agree on a 45 million euro fee, excluding bonuses for Timber. And he has been sure to go to Arsenal for some time after talks with Mikel Arteta. He doesn't want to go anywhere else, people. And again, 45 million euros seems to be the consensus. Van Basten has said Timber is our biggest strength in defense. He always takes the initiative, just like Nathan Ake. Well, actually, the best defender, Van Dijk, takes the least initiative of the three, which is weird that such a great centre back does so little in build up. Ajax is playing great football thanks to Timber, and the national team is playing great football thanks to him too. It's thanks to him that we are able to play so easy from the back. So again, hopefully that correlates to, at the Emirates. Once again, Gundogan has picked Barcelona ahead of staying at Manchester City or signing for Arsenal or going to Saudi. According to local Norwegian reports, Arsenal are one of the teams interested in 18-year-old Daniel Bassi. He's free to talk to clubs from the 1st of July as his contract expires in 6 months. Bassi is half British, which would give it some registration advantages. Never seen him in my life, but if Odegaard can talk about him, why not? And give a good what do you even call it? Like just a good general basis on him. Bring him in. I don't know where he is, where that lad plays, but bring him in. Ryan Taylor has said on Lavia and Arsenal, I know they've been discussing personal terms with his agent, and Lavia would be 100% open to joining Arsenal. It does look like there's concrete interest, but at this moment in time, the price tag will have to drop. I think the issue Southampton have is that their valuation has been clouded by the fact Chelsea offered 50 million last August and City have had 40 million buyback that becomes active in 2024 and probably a percentage of any deal. Now, once again, Havertz allegedly has completed the first part of his medical and probably all of it, just waiting on contracts to be signed. And you'd imagine he'd be the first through the door. Now, Eddie Nketiah has been linked with a move away from Arsenal. Romano's allegedly poured cold water on that and said, I'm honestly not convinced about reports that Nketiah could be sold this summer. He signed a new deal last year and he's always been highly rated at Arsenal. For sure, there are many clubs who have been tracking Nketiah for a long time, but nothing is concrete in terms of chances to leave the club now. And I agree with that. But, you know, you look at it, Trossard's coming in January. He can play as a false nine. Havertz can play everybody, play everywhere and you know, and whatnot, but can play as a false nine. So you've got two bodies is what I meant to say in front of you that weren't here a year ago in Havertz, allegedly, and Trossard. Martinelli can play up there. Jesus has also been signed. It's down to you, really. Eddie's shown that he can do a role. I wouldn't say he's displayed he's clinical, but I think people have been quite unfair on Eddie Nketiah, especially how he filled in for Jesus. There's also been games where he's played quite well and not scored, but you know, if it's a means to an end to bring in a top striker or take us to the next level, then you know everyone's got a price. I think Eddie Nketiah is in the boat of. In an ideal world, I think he's with Tierney and potentially Balogun, Charlie Patino. Now, there's different things in that there's contracts running out and things like that. Indirectly, Smith Rowe, even though we've been told he's staying. And what I mean by that is, I don't think the club are actively pushing you out. I think the club may sell you if an offer too good to turn down, if it's a means to an end sort of thing, where you look at the Pepes, the Tavareses, etc. of this world, their days are numbered and they're still here past their expiry date. Romano said, we heard a lot about an official Man City bid for Declan Rice, and it could still happen, but Arsenal's plan is to submit a third proposal to West Ham this week. The race remains open between City and Arsenal, waiting for bids, and also for West Ham's position. Payment terms will also be important. West Ham want big money paid now, not in 4 or 5 installments. As revealed a couple of days, contacts are taking place between City and Rice on the player side. Arteta has been trying his best to sign Rice for Arsenal, but City are still there. Nothing is decided yet, but we could have a crucial few days ahead, people. So we'll have to monitor that, exactly what that means, really. And again, on Lavia, it's been said, to be honest, the way Arsenal and Arteta are doing things this window is all about relationships. So a good relationship with his agent, who's the same agent as Saka, allegedly, will definitely help. How far along, it's hard to say. Chelsea have question marks over him, so they're not gone as strong. But I think once a bid gets accepted, I think Chelsea may rear their head. What Arsenal are trying to do is have such a good relationship that it doesn't really matter who's competing with them. They're trying to do that with all of their signings. There's a clear method of going about things. Fair enough, really. And you can't say it's not really helping us. We've been linked with João Cancelo again, courtesy of Rudy Galletti. Again, I'm pretty not confident on that, especially with Timber signing, but let's see what's been said. Arsenal allegedly still interested in the 29-year-old, people. Allegedly, Arsenal is certainly one of the teams interested in him. It's confirmed, but at the moment, the Gunners are fully focused on the deal of Declan Rice, and only after having managed the midfield issue will they eventually focus on the Portuguese player. I mean, we live in a day and age, everyone can say everything really and truly. He's a good player, we'll have to see. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed, people. Check out the rest of the vids. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like